So again, welcome to this seminar about pre-boarding and onboarding using Boardon as a solution for that. I'll run this presentation in English and it will last about 30 minutes and we will have questions at the end of the presentation. You can type questions in the chat room during the presentation and I will answer if possible. Otherwise, I will pick them up at the end of the presentation. So we're 5 past. I think it's time to get started. This will be recorded and you can watch it afterwards in our YouTube channel, of course. So welcome all to this short webinar about pre-boarding and onboarding. My name is Stefan Sjö. I am the Customer Success Manager for Boardon, a company specialized in pre-boarding and onboarding solutions. We're based in Sweden, located myself in Gothenburg, and we also have staff in Stockholm. So I hope that everyone hears me all right, and otherwise just type in the chat room and I'll try to make some adjustments. So what is a good onboarding experience or pre-boarding? And what we mean by saying pre-boarding? Well, the actual word pre-boarding is kind of an adding something to the word of onboarding. Onboarding is the process of socialization into the company. It usually takes up to 12 months before you start calling the company for we instead of them. And we did a lot of pre-boarding and onboarding trainings as a e-learning consultancy firm. But in 2017, we found that there was a gap in the market for a solution that was actually taking care of the first part, the pre-boarding, before you get into the company. Because there were a lot of blockers and thresholds and stops because of IT, because of HR processes, or just general administration. You couldn't get access to the internal systems before you were actually there inside the company. So we found there was a gap to have a solution that took care of the first part of the onboarding, the pre-boarding, using their own channels, the cell phones or the mobile phones of the participants before they actually start. Our case as we started in 2017 was kind of this. You have been to a evaluation, maybe you have had a couple of meetings, and then you're ready to sign the contract. So you agree on all the details and terms, and you go out from the meeting feeling content that you have made the right decision. But what if you actually, after you went out from a meeting, got a text message saying, "Hey, welcome to us. This is our brand. This is what we want to convey, and we notice you. We've put you in the center of this process." So you get your branded portal in the mobile phone or on your PC or Macintosh, and it's counting days down to the first day of employment, and you have the timeline supporting that. So this is kind of the basic starting point for the whole solution. What we didn't want to see is more of this. You go out from the meeting and the phone is just black. There is no one calling you. There is no one noticing you. Now they have done their part. They have signed the contract. And you arrive 3 months later as a new resource. And this is not the thing that we want to see. We want to have this kind of feeling where you feel that your new employer already notices you and kind of invites you on into the company. And what we can do is use this kind of format to convey this feeling. So of course this does not in any way replace all the good thing that you do in the workplace with job orientation. You have maybe a buddy or a boss or manager that takes care of you the first days. But what if you came a bit more prepared and a bit more noticed before the first day? So that's what we supply. It's a nicely neat packaged responsive web page that will show you today. It's not a app, because that would be one threshold too many to download something. This is just a link on the phone, and you have all these functions just available. You don't need to do an app for everything. So this is how it could look. It's personalized. Welcome, Joanne, in this case. You have a person, a video, welcome video saying, hey, welcome to the company. I will be your buddy, or I will be your manager. That is what we expect from you. We're counting down in days to the first day that you arrive, and we look forward to your first day, okay? And then we complete this picture with a timeline of activities. It could be 1 or 2 or 3 activities to do before the first day. Let's say you have the first day and you have a small activity just saying, this is what's going to happen on the first day. So just remind you of this stuff. And afterwards, you kind of get into the company. You have all these other stuff taking your attention, but we can use this system to kind of push them into the company, help them along, notice other stuff, and kind of filter out all the blur of things that's important. So maybe have 1 or 2 activities after the first day as well. Okay. So what's next? Next step, of course, would be to show you about our view of a best practice for an introduction program like this, or a pre-boarding program. So first, why not tell them about your program? What about this introduction? So you can tell them, this is what you get, this is what's included in the plan, this is what's expected of you. Maybe you have something that's really important to do before the first day, or maybe the most important part is to get a little feel for the culture and some practical stuff. So a second activity could be you in the company, where you say, let's talk about company culture. Do you have a manual? What's required, like clothing and stuff, or just benefits? It could be what kind of appearance you have to make. If you're in a service company, this could be very important, so you don't feel like out of your waters for the first day, for example. A third activity, as an example here, could be just a couple of days before the first day, remind them of all this practical stuff, how to get to the office, the first day, what's expected of you. Do I have to bring food, or do I get invited to food? Is there a cafeteria? How does that work? From one of our clients actually have a good fun way of doing this, of saying, oh, is it going to rain or not tomorrow? Check the weather forecast so you get the appropriate clothing. So that's a very nice feature. The first day should not be too much information in our solution, because you get so much information from your colleagues and your buddy or your manager. But maybe a schedule, where to report, exactly what door, what entrance, and of course contact information if you get lost in some way. Then we have maybe a week after, I would say, to have what happens now. So the onboarding process, of course, continues. You should have links to all the internal systems where you continue your learning, or your kind of your journey into the company. Manual support, like that. How does the buddy program work? Do we have a buddy program? Is there a supervisor I can count on to give me more information? And we also kind of let our clients do a satisfaction survey, so we have a measuring of how well the pre-boarding was received, and also make make a room for constant improvement of the preboarding process. Right. So how do we get them to do this? Of course, a link sent out is very easy way to do this, but we also think that some nice reminders could be a good way of keeping the pace in this timeline. So, for example, you can have a reminder so that is sent when something happens. Maybe it could be something that happens that has happened. You have done something, you get a woohoo, a good email sent out with a kind of some positive messages, or you can have something sent when something does not happen. We have not done the important personnel manual or the quiz. That's when you get these reminders. So they're not only sent by automatically sent anyway. They should be personalized, so they're connected to their timeline like this. So maybe between activity 2 and 3 there's a reminder going out, maybe just before the first day with a you can have a link to your a Google link for where to find the company or just tramways and so on. And you can also send out a reminder at the end to do this survey. I would also like to show you later on a reminder to the manager. So we can have a manager reminder. Are you ready to receive this new employee? And that could be also sent out connected to the employee's timeline. Right. So let's get started. Let's do a proof of concept and create an account. I am going here. So this is our main web page, onboarding.io. And there we have our creation guide here doing get started. So it's very easy to get going. I have an email, for example, like this, or I can have my work email maybe. I set my own password, and then I can make up my own URL like this. Let's say I want to have my new job or my brand, something that connects to my company. Today we have 2 domains available, the onboarding.io main domain, and for the Nordics we have the introduction.nu, which works very well in the Scandinavian countries. But for this demo we show onboarding.io. I select my country like this. This automatically also sets the currency for if you choose to purchase the software. But if I have a company that we don't have the currency for, you can select these types of currencies today. So let's do Sweden. Okay, so I have 2 languages today. There's English and Swedish. Let's do English today. Okay. Directly I'm taken into a guide where I can change my colors by picker or just add my company colors. I can change my logo. I have a background for this timeline that I'm talking about, and also an icon that can easily change. When I'm done, this sets up my account, and it's immediately created. I get a direct link as an administrator, and where I can just start off my journey into setting up a preboarding solution. So the first thing that greets me is today, at least, is the short help in Google Slides. So it's like a presentation. Most of the things I'm going through today is in this presentation as well. So you never get stuck. Okay, I want to set up a preboarding solution. What do I need? Well, I need to check my my looks, my settings. I did this in the first step, but I can actually change my background picture here. Let's do that. Just click on this. I have maybe a picture here, or did I forget to check that? Okay. Let's take a picture. Let's do this one instead. So I can have this as a background. It's easy to set the brightness so I can see my text on this background. Let's do it a bit darker like that. And I can review my color settings, of course. Okay, this is how it's going to look. Then let's add a user so we see what we're gaining at. So adding a user is not very difficult. You just need phone or email to make this work. If you have a supervisor, you can just add that here. If I have a supervisor like this, I just add the email to the supervisor. And I don't need anything more than this actually to add a new user. Just an email or the phone, depending on what service I want to use. We support most countries around the globe for text messages. Right, so we have GDPR for the European Union, of course. And I create a user, I just select what kind of content I need. We have a demo plan included, so you can just see it looks quite the same as my presentation before. I set the start date, and as default, it's about 30 days ahead in time, and there's also an automatic end date. So I really don't see how this is going to look, but if I scroll down here, there is a magnifying glass. I can check this. It's going to look directly. So it's welcome, Stefan. I have my welcome video. My first day is in 30 days. You also see that this color that just evented, I picked on startup, that's used throughout the solution now as a highlight color. This is my timeline. I have my first day, my preparations, and what's this? So everything is included in my timeline already. Great. And I can add stuff to the library. Let's do that later on. But this is more or less how it's going to look for the end user. If I'm happy with that, I just go to next step and send my invitations. Select a template. I can of course change the templates, and I can also actually change the text before I send it out. So I can add a personal greeting because I have met this person before. I can send a personal greeting like this. And when I'm satisfied, I just click send, and the email goes out. Done. So 1 or 2 minutes, that's tops what you need to have for sending manual invites to this solution. If I'm a larger company, I can use the add menu feature like this and upload a CSV or an Excel file and batch out new invites. We also have solutions for connecting to HR systems and so on. Let's see how the invite looks. That was not it. Right. So I'm picking up the invite. So this is how the invite looked. I have my brand logo. I have the personal instruction. I have a username and password. I don't really need to use it because there is a direct link with the magic token that takes me directly into the solution. So this could be on the mobile phone, of course. So it looks quite exactly like the preview. So I have my counter, I have my timeline, and I have my library of contents. Right. And it's just click to start or click to start any activity. If I'm on the timeline, there's some preparations I need to do. I can actually also save a calendar booking for myself, so I get reminded by my usual calendar. If I don't log in as many times as needed into this solution, I can use this calendar function as well. Okay, so that was the quick send out a new invite. So how to add some content? Well, everything related to content, of course, it's under content. So I can upload files, for example. Just click here to find something, and let's pick up that nice image. I can use that in my presentations later on. We can change templates for the push notifications, or I can add a new a new template like this. The templates has a list of placeholders you can use for your reminders and your invites, like first name, last name, a username, who is your supervisor, the first day at work, and so on. And I use them, for example, if I have a reminder sent out to the supervisor, like this. I use this like that. You're assigned as a supervisor for your new employee, username, okay, who starts at user date. So I get a personalized reminder for the day that the news starts. And I can also add formatted text like this with a checklist or something that's important to add to the supervisor. And these templates can be either email or text message or both. So you can have templates that are for both medias. Right. So the actual content, that's a good question. Today we support these types of content. You have a file. It usually is PDF files that the company wants to send out or to use. It could also be a YouTube or Vimeo video, and it's easy to add those. Let's pick those up. So all you need is actually the link to the video. For YouTube, it's the last part of the link. You just add that here, and it shows you the right video. For Vimeo, it's this code, the numeric code for Vimeo, like this. Okay, so we have the YouTube, we have the Vimeo, and that's embedded into the portal when I open videos like this here. So it's very nicely embedded into the mobile responsive page. I have an external URL, which can of course be an intranet as well, if that's open for these users, but it could be just pointing the users to different parts of the company web page, so you steer them in the right direction and make good use of the time. We have a quiz function where you can add questions and have a passing score. And we have more of an article where you have a text and image like this, where you can add text. It's possible to add HTML code in like this as well, if you need to be more advanced like this, of course. So we have the files, the videos, the links, the quizzes, and of course the articles. So I think that gives us a good starting point for adding content to new users. Let's keep in mind, users are probably doing this preboarding on their own time, and they don't have time to do long e-learning sessions or something like that. This is a starting point for the journey into the company. Right. So, okay. So let's add a content. Let's add that Vimeo file I had. It was a very nice video from. Like this. Let's just add that. Let's embed it. And it can be inside this page where we also have this text. So if you want, you can add a notification sent after the video has been viewed. Like if you don't want to learn more about our company, here's some useful links. So you keep it actionable, and there's always something happening. Okay, so these learning contents can then be reused into activities. So we have these standard activities you can just reuse or take away if you don't need them. I can put in my new learning content into, let's say, preparation before the first day. Like this, I can just add the learn more about our company video into this activity. I can remove the quiz that was already here. I want. I can add a location if it's a meeting. So the activities are kind of a highlighted things to do before your first day. So it's very useful for kind of steering the new employee in the right direction. So when we have added our activities and our learning contents, we go into our plans. We can have multiple plans. Usually these plans are for companies that has different groups, roles of people, or geographic settings where they have one plan for each office or for each region like this. So it's very flexible. And if I have one that I really want to use, I do one big one and I duplicate it like this. I copy it, and I can just use the copy and have my introduction plan for Gothenburg, for example, and then I can just edit. But if you change anything in the learning contents or the activities, they are reused in all the plans. So a good thing about that is if I change the video, it will change in every plan. But you have to be aware that these are reused in different plans. They're not copies. The plans can be copies, of course. So we have these options in the plan maker to have different starting videos. I can have this one about a company first, and then go on to another one, and then again in the third step, leave on the company video again. So to make something more happening each time I log on. I can change how long before the first day these activities. I can add activities. So let's add an activity here. Okay, what happens now is now 5 days after the first day at work. I can add a reminder. Let's say a reminder like this, connected to that, so they know how to do it. We talked about this supervisor reminder. I can add a supervisor reminder, let's say 7 days before the first day at work. I can add a supervisor reminder. And that could be connected to something that happens. If they has done the quiz, then you get a reminder, or you get it if it's not completed. That's also good for the reminders going out to the end users, because I can set that to be conditional if they have done the quiz or not. If it's not completed, then you get the reminder. If it's completed, then you're on track. You don't need the reminder, actually. Right. So we have options for fixed date activities, which can be fixed dates in time, like introduction days, so on. And then we have the library, which can be any of these learning activities. You can hide the ones that are in the timeline, so you only show the ones that are not in the timeline, or you can duplicate them, because if they want to go through all the stuff at once during you're using the library, if they're curious, why not let them? Okay, so I save my plan, and let's go into my user again and preview, see if these changes look good or not. Okay, introduction video. Oh, no change here. Why is that? Well, let me tell you, this is a very good feature, because my users already started their journey. No change has now been done because I just changed the plan. I need to either change which plan is connected to the user or update the user. So this is a very good feature, so you don't get confused as a user. I can go into the content here and change the Gothenburg plan for this user instead. You see the plan changes. Now when I save and preview, they get the new content. So the Swedish movie, it's the same starting day, but I have my new what happens now here. And also it should have this, yeah, we added learning more about the company video here as well. Had the video, we have the nice image in the text. We had the important information with HTML code included here. I can just start the video if I like as well. But it's too big, so it's now outside of my screen. So that was not so good. Okay, stuff. Anywho, so what have we done? We have added a user. The user has logged in. The user has not done many things, so I need to complete some more stuff for the user to get some more reports for you guys. So I'm going to log in again. I'm going to take this video. Like that. I'm also going to go through some of the activities. I'm going to check the quiz. I'm not going to be very successful just going through this. So it's at least checked. I can learn more about the company like that. That's the video. You see we have two different options here. The I, which is I viewed this, and the square, which is I have seen and I have understood. So this is something you can, not for the quiz, but any other types of learning activity, you can actually have a manual completion here where the user says, I'm completed with this. And this is very good for companies that has like health stuff, hygiene, or any other manager stuff that needs to be done before the first day. Then it's good to have a check-in point that they actually have gone through the material. Right, let's see the video as well. Okay, so now I have done some more activities. I can go back as an administrator, check my reports. So I can see this user was created, is invited, logged in twice actually, has done the follow-up, the quiz, and the starting movie. Great. I can also check the user profile. I can see that my profile is now 67% complete. I've done these activities. So this is a feature that some of our customers are very keen on, to see that they are 100% complete before they start the first day, and if they're not, they send reminders. So it's a very good way of ensuring that they have done all the stuff that they need. For other clients, this is more of a employer branding stuff, employer branding process. It's not as important to get these percentages complete. It's more of a communication tool. Right. So on my dashboard, which was starting point, this is how it would look when I come in the next time. I have one user that's started. It's on desktop and have 2 logins, 1 text message, and 3 viewed learning contents. So this is going to build and be a very nice graph afterwards, if in a couple of days, when more of my users kind of start their introduction programs. Okay, that was the quick walkthrough, which I hope that was beneficial for you, that you could see some of the basic stuff that's in here in the system, and also that you see the connection to the process of onboarding new users. It's very easy. It's not as hard as you think. What usually is a stopping point is, how do I get my content up in the platform? And I just say, well, just think about what you would see when you start a new company. What information do you want? Do you want to see a face? Do you want to get information on PDFs? Just collect that information, put it into a timeline, and it kind of builds very easily from that. So I open up the chat room for questions on my screen here. Do we have any questions at this point? I can't see any questions. I don't know if that's good or bad. Maybe I was going through this too fast. But I can start up, finish up with some information about a solution. As I said, it was very easy to create an account, and that's because we believe that this should be easy and it should be free to start, at least. Of course, we make money on clients that has a lot of introductions going on. We have a license model going through active users. That means that someone that has an active introduction plan and can log in is taking up a seat or is using the system. And we have a free account for 1 active users, with 5 messages a month, which you can use for small companies. Maybe this is all you need. For larger companies, it can be using them for testing over a long period of time, so you don't get stuck in this 30-day trial problem, which you never have the time to do the trial in 30 days. It usually takes up to 3 months to really decide on doing something like this for the company. And it's very easy to upgrade and downgrade the system. You can do that by credit card, and you just go into the solution and select the package that you want, how many active users you need, and you can upgrade and downgrade anytime during the subscription period. And we support most major credit cards through Stripe, like this. So I hope that you found this free to start, easy to upgrade, as we say, and it's fully functional at the basic level as well, so you can upgrade at any time. You don't need to wait for me or anyone else setting up the account. You can just start it up yourself and add your content. And don't forget to make a lasting first impression when you have a new employee starting in your company. Okay, thank you for your attention today. I hope that was what you expected. If not, drop an email or just sign up for a next webinar or a personal demo if you like as well. Thank you for your time today, and I will close the session now.